Hi, kids. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hope you enjoyed your quizzes yesterday. Now, saw a lot of you guys on the live chat, which was awesome. It was great seeing your guys' faces, and it seemed like a lot of you guys who went in and hardly knew anything. By the time you were done, were getting 90%, 95%. Josue, shout out to you, my boy. Now, today, we are officially diving straight into medieval Europe. Now, we're actually talking about one of my all-time favorite people today, this guy right here, which we'll get to his pronunciation here in a moment. But first, a quick recap of what we learned about yesterday in yesterday's video. Now, as we saw yesterday, the early medieval period also had a different name. Historians like to call this the Dark Ages. And remember, as we're going throughout this unit, remember our question is going to be, were the Dark Ages really all that dark? So yesterday we talked about the Roman Empire and how it got really, really, really big, but then eventually came crashing down. It collapsed into a billion little pieces, which I'll show you in just a moment. Now, yesterday you saw a map that looked very similar to this, at least. And it shows the extent of the Roman Empire. It was huge. It completely encircled the Mediterranean Sea, went all the way over into Spain, made its way up into France, into England, into Germany, into Italia, which is Italy, all through North Africa, all the way over into the Middle East. The Roman Empire was massive, but this map, once Rome collapsed, turns into this. Now, since I don't have you guys with me, I realized I had to come up with another strategy on how to do these warm-ups. So the warm-up question is, using the map, what problems could you predict? And since I don't have you, I have a celebrity student here with me. So, Jasmine, looking at this map, what are some problems that you can predict?
Looks like there's a lot of people living really close together. Are those kingdoms?
She nailed it.
And if they're kingdoms, they probably want to fight, right?
There you have it, kids. Exactly, Jasmine nailed it. If you look at this map, there's people literally living on top of one another, and all of these people are different. So they are obviously going to fight with one another over control of territory. Now, that is where this dude comes in. Now, I have a great story about this guy. I had an observer come in, and I was teaching this lesson only live, and this observer, she sits in the back, and in the middle, she raises her hand and says, Mr. Huntsinger, Mr. Huntsinger. And as she was talking, I realized she had sort of a weird accent that I couldn't pinpoint. I couldn't figure out where she was from, rather. And I sort of look back and think, well, usually these college observers don't speak up in the middle of my class. So I look back and I say, yes, yes. And she looks at me and she says, Mr. Huntsinger, you're pronouncing the name wrong. And I sort of am offended for a second. What are you talking about? You're coming into my class and you're going to sit there and criticize the way that I pronounce this guy's name. Now, I was pronouncing his name as Charlemagne, which sounds really country bumpkin. Yeah, Charlemagne. Now, I ask her, I say, all right, smarty pants, if you're so smart, how do you pronounce this guy's name? And she looks at me and she says, Mr. Huntsinger, I'm from France. I say, oh, you're French. That makes so much sense because, here's the hint, Charlemagne is also from France. So I ask her and I say, okay, what is this guy's name? How do you perfectly pronounce this? And she looks out at the entire class and she says, his name is Charlemagne. And everybody in the whole class starts. Now, this guy's actual pronunciation of his name is pronounced just like this. It is Charlemagne, because Charlemagne was born in a place that today we call France. Now, Charlemagne was a very, very, very powerful person. You're going to learn all about him today. Now, notice, as Jasmine pointed out a moment ago, right after the fall of the Roman Empire, Europe was completely scattered and broken into a bunch of different kingdoms. Now, Charlemagne comes along and he reunites almost the entirety of Western Europe. And he creates this place called the Frankish Empire. This place right here called Aachen. This, if you go there today, you can actually still see where Charlemagne is buried by the time he died. They buried him in this giant cathedral in the town of Aachen. Now, this is Charlemagne's tomb. Now, if you were to go to Aachen today, you could actually go and still see this. It's made of solid gold with silver inlay, and you see these like little panels here. Now, what these are showing the story of Charlemagne's life. Now, what you guys are going to look at today in your reading is you're going to look at the episodes of Charlemagne's life and figure out this question. Okay, Huntsinger, Charlemagne is clearly an amazing person, but how on earth did he unite Western Europe after Rome had collapsed? So kiddos, enjoy your reading today. I think the questions are especially good today. I think that you're going to enjoy them. They're very enlightening. It's going to show me how good you all are at thinking. But until tomorrow, my friends, have a wonderful afternoon. Finish up your little questions and you'll be good for the day. All right, bye, kiddos.